What do we have here? We have a P20C with fans that are stock 120 on front, three 120 on front, and addressable RGB. This is basically the same case that I've covered like 3 times already, but regardless of that, I want to give you information about the case that actually now comes with 3 addressable RGB fans on front. At the back you don't get any single fan, because usually what ANTEC did is placing 3 fans on front or 2 fans on front and 1 non-RGB at the back, but this time we don't have, which isn't a bad thing, because if you go with Vortex 240 or 360, depending on the configuration or anything that you desire, you can always grab a fusion fan and place it at the back, because you know Vortex has fusion fans. So in those terms, we have a case that is somewhat prepared already for addressable RGB. And it's cool because this case, after all the past cases that I reviewed from ANTEC, was the first case that had a significant movement when it came to design of ANTEC cases and when it came to quality. And if you remember my first review of P20C, I was extremely amazed and really loved the case. I still do, don't get me wrong. Just because it was more intuitive in terms of constant, you know, when you build constantly with loads of other cases. And then you notice certain parts of the chassis that will kind of give you ease of access to the parts, like EPS cables, cut out here for mounting the GPU, opening for the cable for the PCI Express, and those things are in some cases regular, right? But in some cases or some manufacturers aren't, and this is why I like to notice and mention those things, because it gives you guys more information about everything when you're deciding to buy the case. Now, since I already covered the ANTEC P20, P20C, P20CE and P20C White, and you have all the thermals there, I'm not going to run benchmarks here, so you can check out those thermals and benchmarks in those videos, and I'll link them in the description below. But regardless of that, as you can see right here, you can pop out the front panel quite easily, because it comes with some sort of a standoffs that you place like so, and then you push the top part into the basically two pegs go into the case, which help the front panel, which is nice metal part, really nicely designed. I love the front cutouts, keeping it stable on your case. And then we have a dust filter, which you can easily remove just by pressing the top part. And that's it. You have an opening here for your fans. You can mount them from the outside, as you can see, because there's enough space, and this is how they arrive stock inside the case, which gives you loads of space here for a radiator. And that's really good, because I have a PNY RTX 4080 inside the case, and I still have like 4 to maybe 5 centimeters of clearance before it reaches the actual front part of the chassis, and that's it. The build is looking something like this, and I have to admit, it's really easy, it's really cool. The front fans can be connected with addressable RGB to your motherboard, so you can control them as such, or you have a button here on top, which gives you an option to change the lights as you wish. So it's all up to you to decide how you're going to control the addressable RGB on the fans on the front. And let me just show you one more thing. If you, for some reason, accidentally press the top LED button and it goes into some, I don't know, crazy mode, shining, doing colors as it wishes, you just have to hold the LED button on top, and it synchronizes with the motherboard. So in this scenario, it doesn't shut down, it doesn't turn off the LEDs, it goes to the motherboard sync. So, for instance, if you have your motherboard synced in terms of lights, that it's switched off, it will switch off. If you don't, then this is it. Cool thing about these fans in terms of connection and lights is that, first of all, You don't have to have addressable RGB on your motherboard to have lights because you can control them on top. You do need to connect them with SATA power. And additionally, if you want addressable RGB connected to your motherboard, you can connect that 3-pin 5V addressable RGB header. And you have to connect them to your motherboard to get the speeds and for them to spin at all. So yeah, quite cool case. As you already know, I covered it a couple of times, so I'm just gonna link those videos in the description so you get more information about it. The cool thing about this case is it fits 360 on top. This is the Vortex 360 ARGB and it can fit on front as well, but since we have fans on front, there's no point of basically placing it on front. And here at the bottom we have Neo Echo, the new one, NE1000GM. So yeah, that's it. Quite outstanding case still, regardless of the release date. It's not that far even. So yeah, guys, I'll put the links for the ANTEC P20C ARGB in the description below, as well as the Vortex 360 ARGB and their Neo Echo NE1000GM power supply, which is 80 plus gold. That's all for today, guys. If you like the content and you want to see more in the future, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and click the notification bell, just in case. Yeah, that'll be it. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.